Hey folks, welcome back to Hot Tub Beer Review. Today, we're going to go visit our friends down at Coastal County Brewing in Pensacola, Florida. We're going to try their cream ale. Stick around, it'll be a fun one.
Hey everybody, welcome to Hot Tub Beer Review, the show where we give you our unprofessional, somewhat biased opinion about the beer that we're drinking. Once again, we're back to do that again. I've got Andy in the attic. I've got Jay. I am Ben. What are we drinking today, gentlemen?
Coastal Cream Ale?
County. Yep, Coastal County Cream Ale. Coastal Brewing. Coastal County Brewing. Pensacola. I like the can art. Like the logo.
I like the little touch here. So Pensacola, Florida, but it's like the P, and then you see the state of Florida.
Yep.
Cola.
I caught that. And the little, snorkel mask with the hop in between.
Yeah. All right. I dropped my beer when bringing it out of the fridge. So fortunately, it's been made. Yeah, there it is. A little happy.
Oh, Jay.
Cheers,
mates.
Cheers, mates.
This is a cream ale, as it clearly says, 6.1%. Coastal County did not put much information at all on their site. It's been forever since I looked it up, but all they could describe it as being unfiltered.
So, Andy,
it's got a little haze
tell
to
me a little bit more about cream ales? And, we've probably done a handful of them, but could you refresh my memory on the cream ale style?
We're going to have to post-record that and plan it in so he can answer the question, and then we'll just seamlessly blend all that in. I have a
script I go by. Actually, I can. So,
here comes the post-production part.
No, we'll do it right now. The American cream ale. It's a mild, pale, light-bodied ale made using a warm fermentation, top or bottom, fermenting yeast, and cold lagering. So, despite being called an ale, when being judged in competitions, it's acceptable for brewers to use lager yeast. So, the American cream ale, mild, pale, light-bodied, warm fermentation.
So very similar to a lager.
Ale is done more warm. Lager is done cold. Ale, more to the top, lager at the bottom. So there you go. Now, I was looking at some of our cream ales we've done on the show. We did the Wexford Irish style. Did we do Wexford? Nope.
Doesn't ring a bell.
Okay. Nope. King Cake, definitely.
Mm-hmm. Number one, episode number 1, and like episode number 150.
Something, yeah.
Something like that.
So I was trying to think of others. Anywho, they did put information about the history of the brewery. So it is a microbrewery, Pensacola, Florida. And here is a fateful date. It opened on Friday the 13th of March, 2020. Pretty much around the time that the world came to a screeching halt.
That was the week of COVID.
Yes. So the week that the U.S. stopped with COVID. And I remember going out that Thursday the 12th to dinner here in town with my wife. And we're like, this place, well, it was our spring break week, and so students were gone from the university town. But yep, so the week ended. I mean, the world ended shortly after. So founded March 13th, which was a Friday, 2020.
Wow.
The owner was a local guy named Fred Thibodeau. He quit his corporate job and he wanted to get into beer business. So he started as a server in Jacksonville, Florida, and he learned at a brew pub, and he started to learn from their brewer. And then he was offered an assistant brewer position at Gordon Biersch Brew Pub in Glendale, Arizona. I think that's a Gordon Biersch. Mm-hmm. Then he went to work at Duck Rabbit Craft Brewery in Farmville, North Carolina. Then he moved on to Cigar City Brewing in Tampa as a production brewer. And then he helped to start up at Wicked Barley Brewing in Jacksonville. So he got a lot of experience doing this, but he ultimately wanted to open his own business, his own brewery in Pensacola. So his mother was a local business owner in Pensacola. His mother, Susan, owned a local classified ads newspaper and owned the building that it was in. And so she decided to change the business to help Fred out. And so the location became the brewery. It sits on 2.5 acres in Pensacola. They have games and a dog park, picnic tables, patio, fire pit, all the above. So I thought that was kind of a cool, you know, like working yourself up from the mailroom to get to where you want to be and to be the CEO.
Yeah.
And having to move around a good bit across the country in different areas. So
it really got to see it's got his teeth in some different breweries. Yeah.
I'm sure he has a variety of styles. I know we have this one and another one to review, and there's probably a lot more. I haven't been down there in a while. We used to go down to Pensacola a good bit. I'll have to see if I can swing by there.
Where you go, Fred? Respect.
Yeah, I think it's also the fact that they're still open, given when they started.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's got to be some extra uphill battle there. So,
but then again, they were in Florida, and so Florida really tried to buck the rule system.
That's a fair point.
So,
fair point.
Yeah, and it's outdoor more often, so you can do your 6 feet-ish type of thing. So.
Yeah. It sounds like it's a huge place too. If it's 2.5 acres, that's not a tiny operation.
You know, looking on their website, they showed a lot of pictures of it, a lot of outdoor area, and Pensacola, you can be outdoor pretty much year round.
Okay.
I mean, you can wear some long pants and shoes and a pullover and still enjoy a daytime. Yeah. A daytime in January. I did some internship there in January and February, and it was great. I missed my winter.
I didn't realize you started as an intern on this show. I
no, I
didn't realize that at all.
Unpaid intern, the worst.
I wish I would have known that. All right, does anybody have this one?
No, who picked this up?
I completely forgot. I need to give the biggest shout out, thank goodness, to our friend Pat, who gave this beer and another one to me. I tried the other one, which is their milk stout. I chose to withhold from this one, so I didn't have this either. But thank you, Pat. He came up for a game in the Grove. Awesome. Here at Ole Miss, and had a great weekend with him. Hadn't seen him in a good while. He and his lovely wife, Rachel. So
cheers,
we went to the local distillery, got to go see that, and then spent some time in the Grove. So a gin distillery.
Awesome. That's cool.
Yeah, they're big gin drinkers. And yeah, it was a great weekend. And he's like, I want to give you all some beers to review. So
nice.
Cheers, Pat. It's a good one.
Cheers, Pat.
All right. Who wants to go first on this one? Jay.
I was waiting for it. Here it comes.
It's a good, easy drinking beer. I like it. I like the can art. I like the flavor on it. It's kind of deceptive. You would think, as light as it is, you wouldn't think it's a 6.1%. Um, and I appreciate Andy reminding me of the description of the cream ale versus the lagers. They're very similar to me in
I
taste and flavors.
appreciate you keeping me on my toes.
So yeah, I mean it's a solid 7 for me. I really appreciate Pat providing it and you getting us to it, Andy. So
All right, I'll jump in and go next. I think that for me, I think I agree with you. I echo everything you just said. It is very light, easy to drink. That definitely it drinks almost from a drinking standpoint. I mean, it could potentially be crushable, from a flavor and whatnot standpoint. I think that 6% though, like you said, is a bit deceptive, or could be deceptive potentially. But it's not terribly high, so still could be okay. I think when I think of the cream ales that we've had, I think I was looking for this one to be a little more creamy, if that makes sense. Um, I think of like the grind and shine from what's the brewery in Memphis now? I'm blanking on it, but there's Ghost River. Their grind and shine that I've had fairly recently. It's a cream ale, and it's just a little thicker, and it's has just more of a creamy head on it. That when I see cream ale, that's what I expect, and maybe that's just wrong on my part. But but that's kind of what I'm looking for out of a cream ale. And so this one is a little light, drinks a little more like almost like a macro, or step up of a macro. To me, it's similar in body and mouthfeel as like some of the Hellas that we've had from some of these calendars we've done, but the taste is obviously different. So I think for that reason, I mean, I think it's a good beer. It's a great one for having at the beach. Definitely, if you're in the Pensacola and you're stopping down there and you're about to head to the beach and need to grab some beer. I was just looking for it to be a little bit more creamy. I'm going to give it a 6.5 for that reason. Andy, what do you think?
Ben, do you remember one of the? I think it was when we visited Big Beach. They had a Rod's Cream Ale. Was the name of theirs.
Yep.
Do you remember sampling that one with me in comparison to this and that? Because I think Rod's was very similar to this versus the other.
Yeah, I remember having it. Off the top of my head, no.
Yeah.
And this may be partly where the somewhat bias comes in, because when I think of cream ale, I'm thinking of something with that creamy head, almost like a almost like
That's
a
why I asked
Boddington's or a
Andy.
Guinness, the nitro type creamy head. Like that's
You're
what
looking
I'm
for like
thinking.
a pastry stout, aren't you?
No, I'm just looking for it to be a little bit thicker, but still, an ale. It's not a thinner see-through beer. And again,
that's why I kind of asked Andy about it at the start. Could you
It's not
define the
see-through.
cream?
This is unfiltered. The man without a face.
How many fingers am I holding up?
All right, Andy. Why don't you review it?
Yeah. I disagree, Ben. It is, as to, when I went over the, Jay, I'm actually glad you asked me to comment on what a cream ale is like, because
You're welcome.
you can use lager yeast, it can be judged either way. So initial sip, it's like a crispness, but it does have a thicker mouthfeel. I guess that's part of being the unfiltered. And I get a bit of creaminess on it. I like a good cream ale, but it, I don't know, it feels like a heavier, a thicker Helles to me. It's, I don't know, it's got a good quality. This can be a winter beer. This can be a summer beer. It's our unspecial beer where you can have it any time of the year. And I could see this being a brunch beer for me. It's got enough depth to it that no, I'm going 7.5. I have another one, and I'm glad I do. So they came in
Otherwise
4-pack,
known
so.
as a year-round beer.
This is year round, any time of day, any mood. It'll fit it. It's not like you coming home in the winter and you want, an imperial stout, or you're sitting by the fire and you want the barley wine, or hey, it is hot and you want either this crushable sour, or a light lager, like a Kona, was it longboard or big wave or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So this is an easy drinker.
Yep.
6.1. You don't feel the 6.1.
So
It's a
when
good
you
beer.
were doing your Hopped Up Beer Review internship in Pensacola, were you able to make it by Coastal County?
We're talking January, February of the year 2002. And no, so that was 18 years before. Wow. Yeah.
That is going to be a 7 for the Coastal Cream Ale from Coastal County Brewing Company, Pensacola, Florida. Definitely one. If you've had, let us know what you think down in the comments. Definitely want to send a special shout out to Pat for providing this to us, and looking forward to the next one that we have. So definitely appreciate that, Pat. We've got a bunch of links down in the description. You can check them all out. Social media sites. We've got our Hopped Up Beer Review Discord server, which is a chat room that we're all there at. We've got some merch. We've got some glassware and some other links for any other hardware, software stuff that we use to produce this show. So you can check all that out down below. With that, appreciate you watching this video. Please like, subscribe, cheers that notification if you're not done so. For Andy and the Attic and Jay, I'm Ben. Cheers, mates.
Cheers, mates.
Cheers, Pat. Honey,